That's what I'm talking about. Alright guys, today I'm going to do a quick video on rigging the Taquito. On the online forums and Facebook groups and things, I've seen some improperly rigged Taquito. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how to do this. The hook that this bait was designed around is the 10-aught Beast. I personally use the weightless Beast hook. You can use the weighted one if you want to. I'm going to show you guys how to rig this properly. So what you need to do is go into the nose of the bait, set the hook just like you would, and you want to go in like that. So try to center that in there as best you can. You can see that. And start twisting, right? But you don't want to stretch the bait out. The spring, if you've got too much, if you're pushing too hard, too fast, the spring will kind of distort the face. So you kind of want to go slow with it. You know, do it like quarter turn, just kind of let it relax, quarter turn, let it relax. And you want to do it that way so that you're not stretching the face out and the spring's not grabbing the silicone and distorting it. So just keep going, keep going. This silicone is actually pretty tough. So there you go. I've got it perfectly centered, as you can see. And that's what you want. Drive it all the way into the hook eye there. And this bait actually has a pocket inside of here, if you can see that. So there's a slit, and then in the very back there's like a little pocket back there, and that's where the hook point is actually supposed to go. If you put that hook in this part, you're probably going to get the scrunchy, stretched out face, whatever. It's going to distort the bait. So you actually want this hook point to be all the way back in that pocket. So the way to do that is I turn this bait inside out, and you can see that pocket. So you want to take the hook point, go into that pocket, and then kind of orient it so that the hook comes out directly under that fin. You want it to come straight out under the fin in the center of the bait. Poke it through. There you go. Perfectly rigged. No stretchy face, no distortions, perfectly centered. This bait will swim without any kind of weight or anything like this. It'll swim straight if you rig it perfectly. Now if it does lean a little bit, you can put a nail weight in either side or whatever and straighten it out a little bit. Or if you've got the weighted hook, it probably doesn't matter. But I usually fish them weightless. So that's it. So another thing that I like to do is, and you can get these at Walmart or Target or anywhere you want in the cosmetic section. They are hair bands. They're just little elastic bands. This is a little thing that I like to do, especially if I'm fishing around really heavy weeds or if I'm skipping this bait or something like that. Sometimes the silicone, when it gets wet, this hook will slide up. And so I like to put this little hairband on there, and I'll show you how to do it. I just open it up, slide it on there, and that's it. And what it does is it keeps that hook point in that little trench up there. But, you know, when you hook a fish, it slides right off. I mean, I've never had that interfere with the hookup at all. It just slides off, and then you just put it back on there again and keep fishing. So that's a little tip too. You know, especially if you're skipping this bait, you'll notice that hook wants to slide out every once in a while. That'll keep that hook right in there. Now I wouldn't use these with like a plastisol bait because they'll melt, but with the silicone works great. So if you're curious as to what, you know, rod, reel, whatever to use with this bait, I would recommend using at least fluorocarbon. If I've got fluorocarbon, I'll use this rod, which is actually really heavy. It's a 3 to 9 ounce rod. It's I think it's an 808 North Fork Composites blank. It's a really, really stout rod, so you can drive that hook home. With a weedless bait, you definitely want a lot of horsepower. You don't want a soft rod. You want to make sure you can really drive that hook home. I would use 20-pound at least fluorocarbon stout rod. If you want to go the braid option, you know, I use braids too sometimes. Then you can get away with a little softer rod. But braid to straight braid to fluoro, I would personally avoid monofilament. And that's pretty much how you do it right there. That's the Taquito. So